Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're hopping back into Garden of Good and Evil. It is turn 102 in this very long multiplayer game. And I think we've got a few boring turns, and then the game is going to take a big change. So we have a message from Ryla. I haven't been doing a good job showing my diplomacy. It doesn't even make sense. I sent him those astral energies only delay the inevitable death to befall upon the world. Anyway. I guess I was talking about... Oh, okay, so... I had sent him a message the turn before saying that I'm going to continue taking down Arcane Nexus. And he sends me a text back, but why? And he puts Arcane Nexus back up. Right? I respond to him saying... that those astral energies from Arcane Nexus only delay the inevitable death to befall upon the world. Okay. So, Arcane Nexus is back up for a third time. This is not a cheap spell to put up. I think he's putting almost all his gems into Arcane Nexus. One of the ways this spell can work is half of all the gems used to create any item or for any spell are going to come to the owner. Right, the nice thing about Astral is that you can transmute or alchemize all of those gems into Astral Pearls. So if you get 300 gems from it, which you can totally get 60, 100 gems a turn from Arcane Nexus, then very quickly thereafter you can alchemize them all to cover back the cost of the spell. And then if people are dispelling you, you're essentially able to put it back up for free while they're wasting their money dispelling it. So if you dispel it, you need to dispel it very quickly. Very, very quickly before he can get the payback. And then you need to stop casting while it's up. So, anyway, that is back up for a third time. And that is quite annoying because it rains on my parade. Since I just finished Alteration Research this turn, and what that means is that I now have Alteration 9. So that's going to open up all sorts of awesome things for me. Army of Gold and Army of Lead, which I'm definitely going to start using. Wish, which I have no way to use. Army of Rats, which I probably could use, but probably won't. And Utter Dark, which is the whole reason I researched Alteration 9. Or not the whole reason, but 90% of it. This is a game-winning spell for me. If I can keep this spell up, I win. That's basically how it's going to work. And it's 100 death gems. So, yeah. That's pretty sick. And I've got a ton of death gems stockpiled up, but I can't cast it now. I can't cast it even though I just researched it, because Arcane Nexus is up. And I don't want to... If I cast it, I'm going to cast it with like 400 gems. And I don't want to give them to Ryla. So now I've got to focus on getting Arcane Nexus down. And that's pretty annoying. And it's probably going to come up the turn after, in a few turns as soon as I get it down. Anyway, we'll see. So, that being said, let's go through the events. We cast Transmute Fire, so I got 1,500 gold. Cast all specs. We cast Wizard Tower, and I believe that gives me a tower right here. That was where I cast it. So this area is formally cordoned off as mine. The thoughts that Ryla once had of being able to invade are not only distant memories, but he's lost almost all of the land. His research is maxed out. You know, aside from... If we let him keep Arcane Nexus up, he could win through gem income. With Arcane, if I can keep Arcane Nexus down, he's not going to win. So, I've got my army here. Just a little PD. Right, so this is a pretty sizable army. Right? He had this big army right here last turn. Right, and I was thinking he was going to take this fort, right, because I evacuated all of my zombies out. I took all my zombies out, sent them down here, and now he didn't take it. And so I'm like, God damn, I gotta get them all back in there. So this turn I'm taking all these zombies, of which there are many, and I'm sending them back in. Plus, I'm sending another whole swath of zombies. I'm gonna hit Y here to show you what I got coming in. A whole nother huge swath of zombies. You can see I've got about 500 or 600 more zombies coming here. And then I'm going to get them into this fort the turn after. And he shouldn't be able to stop me, because the only people that could threaten this province are these, and they're weak. So, what that means is I'm going to have about 1,000 zombies in this fort in a turn or two. And when I have that many, this army won't be able to take this fort. And then I'm going to also be able to transition them within a couple turns to Asphodel when I take it, because I now have this big army, which will be very efficient in dealing with Asphodel. So yeah, that's the news. We'll watch a couple of these battles really quick. This is the crossbow battle. So we can see he's got flaming arrows with this flame spirit. Oh, does he? Yeah. So you can see flaming arrows is quite effective. Versus my chaff, anyway. But we kill a bunch of his chaff. The green lions, I think, we don't fully kill, but we kill a few of them. And I think, let's look at the battle report there. I think I killed quite a few of these guys. Yeah, he lost almost half of his troops, and it cost me nothing. I mean, 200 long dead is nothing. So that was a good trade for me, but I lost the province. That's that. We can see I attacked... Oh, Ryla took this province back from me. He is a Wraith Lord. I just have PD. There was a battle here where I was attacking the Ermorian fort, hoping that it was not defended. But he had all of his mages guarding against this chaff. So this is kind of wasteful in terms of mage turns. But that said, at this late into the game, it's very possible that Ryla is at 9 in all of the research paths. So he may not have any use for mages aside from patrolling and fighting, which is very different than me, whereas my research is still very low. Or not very low, but kind of low. And he's going to snipe all of my commanders, and my guys are now going to disappear. You can see them all disappearing. Yeah, pretty easy. So there they go. Nazca has a big army here. I reinforced this province, hoping that maybe he would attack me right here, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But he's probably not going to siege while I have this army here. So I'm going to kind of hang tight here for another turn. I'm keeping all my troops here and adding more. And that's basically it for this turn. I'm going to just click through here, make sure I didn't miss any interesting battles. That was the crossbow army. That was the fort army. Nothing really interesting. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I tried to go on top of Asphodel's capital, and I figured I brought enough of these chaff so that the harpies wouldn't all hit me the first turn. Which is kind of okay. It seems to have worked. But unfortunately, I rout. So I lost too many hit points of units, and I think I triggered an army rout by accident. So that was a mistake. In terms of events, I don't think there's too much. We had a gold event. I'll show you that real quick. So that happened here. That happened in Asphodel's provinces because it doesn't have my dominion. I would never get that 800 gold event in my own dominion. Kind of nice about capturing other people's territory. You don't have to have it in your dominion. Meanwhile, we had a fortress complete here. I'm going to be building a temple in it. I'm also building a fortress here, which will be done next turn, and then I'll move the priest down and we'll build a temple here. One thing I've been doing almost every turn is I've been looking at score graphs. And you can see this looks really good for provinces. This is what it looks like when you're going to win the game. You see something growth like this. Ryla's is probably similar. Though it's probably like, his probably went up like right here. And then now it's probably trickling down a little but I think he's been winning the wars against Scalaria. Forts, that's a beautiful progression. If you see this, you're probably going to win. That said, I don't know if I'm going to win this game. I could still lose, but I think right now it's heavily in my favor. If I can keep Underdark up for 10 turns, I think I'm going to win. In terms of income, here we go. It's been spiking all over the place. Gem income is very, very good. Research, quite nice. Inflecting up. I mean, Ryla was probably at this level of research, maybe back here, probably right here. So he's way higher in research than me. Dominion. This is one of the most important things for me because this is going to dictate how many troops I get. And it's also going to potentially, it's a force to potentially dom kill my enemies or weaken their economy. So this is an extremely strong Dominion growth. And you can see it's just growing faster and faster. So I'm going to keep spamming out temples with all the money I get and forts, and hopefully that will continue growing. Armies, you can see that it has grown and grown and grown. Recently we had a little drop-off, and that was when the fights were really heavy with the Gartha. I mean with Saramadia. Can't even talk with Ryla. But since we've been at peace, more or less peace for a couple turns, we haven't had that many losses. So, anyway, that's kind of where we are. My strategy here, I was thinking, okay, well, I could sit on top, I could move this big army on top of this fortress. If I do that, next turn he's going to move this guy here. Right? And I could potentially break into the fort, but then I would have to fight his army. Now, this is viable because I can move my Earth Elemental dude, who can put armies of gold up. I mean, or armies of lead. And maybe I should have done that. But right now I'm running up enchantment. I kind of want mass flight. So I thought I should wait a turn. I think it was a mistake. I think I probably should have gone on this right now. The value of doing that is that when he attacks me with this big army, I'm going to get the defensive move advantage. So I'll go first. So I can put Army of Lead up first. That defensive, going first in late game is such a big deal. So now if he moves his, I'm going to sit here. The other thing I kind of want to do is I kind of want to get Underdark up first. So I'm not, the clock is on my side at this point in time. So I don't want to be too, I don't want to rush it. Right, the thing is, if this army dies, I'm going to lose this whole area. He's going to basically start taking all of my major objectives from me. And it's going to be a long time before I can have an army this size to fight this army. So I'm kind of being conservative. Let him attack me, something like that. Let's get Underdark up. But I think if I attacked here, I would get defensive move advantage against this army, which would be very, very critical. But I wouldn't have mass flight up in time to script it. So that's kind of the yin and the yang there. And yeah, we're basically stalling. We're just sitting here and we're sitting here. And that's it. In terms of casting, I'm not spending anything. I'm just stashing away all my gems back here in these forts on top of these telesthetic animates. And yeah, you can see I've got a bunch of gems all stashed up here. And I'm not casting anything. I'm just waiting to take down Arcane Nexus. Let's check. Maybe I took it down this turn. No, so I am trying to take it down this turn. So I am trying to take down Arcane Nexus. One thing is, Arcane Nexus doesn't take Astral Pearls or Blood Slaves, so I'm going to go ahead and cast it with 80. And I'm figuring this is the third time he cast it. Maybe I've been overcasting by like 100 to knock it out. Maybe he's just been putting it up at the bare cost, and I've just been paying premium to take it down. That's kind of what I'm figuring. So I'm going to test out the hypothesis that he's hardly putting any into it. He's just putting up the base 150 to cast it. So I cast Dispel, Arcane Nexus, and I put 56 gems into it. So we will see if that takes it down. That is the end of this turn. I'm going to do another turn. That was 102. We're going to try 103. You can see I'm at turn 104 right now. So some pearls came in from these guys. It's a little late to the fact, but that's okay. So you can see I cast Dispel, but it didn't work. Dispel was overpowered by the global enchantment. A more powerful Dispel will be necessary to remove it. So that means I was unsuccessful and wasted 80 pearls. So that's unfortunate. What it means is Ryla is putting a ton of gems into keeping Arcane Nexus up, which is really smart. It's probably his only way to win right now, is to have and keep Arcane Nexus up. I think if he keeps it up, he's going to win. If he doesn't keep it up, he's going to lose. So this is a battle against a few slave mages, some claymen. I don't think they have any more gems on them though. Okay. So you can see the ice elementals are good, but they tend to get surrounded, as most tramplers do, and eventually die. So, yeah, there they go. Now I think they're all fatigued out. Yep. So I'm going to have enough turns to run up there and smack them. So that was that battle. I also sent my Dusk Elder in to attack the one last province next to the capital. And basically he's just going to chill out back here. And unfortunately though, I was thinking that sleep vines don't work on me because it doesn't affect inanimate beings. But I'm not inanimate. While I am undead, I am not lifeless. So, yeah. Basically, it still affects me. So you can see I'm still losing a fair amount of HP, too. And right now I'm at fatigue 200. And I think a lot of the damage I'm taking is coming from the fatigue, not really the HP. So anyway, I'm routed, but I can't run because I'm fatigued. Meanwhile, my fatigue is slowly recovering. Alright, so I'm at 125. I've got a couple more turns. I'm at 95, so now I'm going to start running. So that was okay. I killed... That was up here. Anyway, we killed all the dudes, and there's just some sages left. So we're going to send an army in now to kill the sages. Should work. Asphodel's totally given up. I think he's just submitting blank turns now. And you can see we have our first cohort of zombies in this fort. We got 450. And we've got another 500 or 600 probably coming in right now. And they will arrive. As predicted, he moved his army from here to here. I think he also sent a small force to try to take this back, which was unsuccessful. So every time he does a little thing like this, these little ones add up. Like this is probably 400 gold. That's probably not that much, probably like 300 gold. And then a couple gems, so that was a waste. He also, whoops, sent an army here. Unsuccessful. And he probably thought I was going to move on top of this fort, but I didn't. And I'm still hanging tight. The reason is I want to finish enchantment off, and then I will be able to mass flight. But now he's gonna get first move, so he'll be able to do undead mastery. Yeah. It's kind of a problem. I don't really have an answer to that. Yeah, I definitely don't have an answer to that. What else? So Nazca has camped here. I see there's a temple also. So I think he's probably trying to build a fort and just he's going to slowly... Like, we're not at full war. He just figures he can incrementally take provinces over here and get a little bigger. And maybe I won't fight him for it because I'm messing with Ryla, so he can just take my stuff. Well, he can't take my stuff, so we're going to have a battle. I'm sending in my Queen of Storms, as well as a bunch of Sacreds, and then a fair amount of Chaff. And we're going to drop Fog Warriors and then Storm. So hopefully that works. We're going to have a big battle here next turn. And yeah, he sent a crappy little army here to fight this. That didn't work. Up here in our raiding, we successfully raided this province. I'll just show you. And there was not a temple here. This was a templeless province. So this was to indicate to Ryla that I am not committed to only raiding provinces with temples. I will kill province defense anywhere. And then I'm going to lurk away. Right? And then these guys are going to move up here. And we're going to take this province to further indicate to Ryla that I am not only raiding temples, I will raid wherever I feel like. And then we're going to come down, hopefully, and kill these 2 temples if I get lucky. But if he's got Star Children guarding them, which I imagine he will, then I won't, and instead I'll raid something different. So... Well, I'm not done with that turn yet, but we will be done shortly. So, we're camping out here. We're going to wait till we have mass flight. I definitely don't want to move now. Right now is too late. If I moved on here, he would have defensive move, and he would wallop me, because I will neither have mass flight, nor will I have first move to get my magic resistance up to counter undead mastery. What I am doing, though, and this was big, is I took... You can see the gem piles here. I'm keeping a lot of my death. But where I had a bunch of my other gem piles, I've basically liquidated all of my water, air, and a lot of my earth and nature gems. And I've turned them all into pearls. I've even turned a fair amount of my death gems into pearls. And the reason I did that is because I'm casting Dispel again. You remember I cast it last turn, and it was unsuccessful. Well, this turn I'm casting it again, but with 179 pearls. Right, so I did a ton of alchemy. I mean, I alchemized over 200 gems. Probably like 250 or 260, 70 gems I turned into pearls so I could cast it. Because if I can't take down Arcane Nexus, I'm probably going to lose. Or if I don't lose, if I win, it will take another like 50 turns. Whereas if I can get it down and put Utter Dark up next turn. So this is my plan. I'm going to take... Hopefully this will take it down. If this takes it down, then next turn I put up Utter Dark with my Pretender. And with Utter Dark up and Well of Misery, I'm definitely going to win. I don't think there's anything they can do now to stop me. So I could put Utter Dark with Arcane Nexus up, but that will give him so many death gems. I mean, he's going to turn those all into Tartarians, or into other nasty things, like Liches to drop 4 undead masteries at the beginning of a fight. I don't even want to think about it. So, yeah. The other thing we're doing, we're moving our main army on top of Asphodel. So we'll see how that goes. We're moving a small army here on top of this to take this temple out. And we will get ready to siege this right on up. The rest of our chaff we're going to move over here to continue to assault Asphodel's capital. And I think that's about it for this turn. Basically, we're stalling until we get Arcane Nexus down and Utter Dark up. And I will see you guys next turn, where we have hopefully a fight right here. Thanks everyone for watching.